Those living in low-lying areas and near the coastline have been told to evacuate. This includes areas such as the southern shores. Kelsey Johnson was out early and talked to a number of residents as they started to evacuate.
No matter how many doors we knocked on early Wednesday morning, the cries were all the same.
Getting ready to evacuate right now.
Well, we just have about a few more things to pack and we're going to be leaving because we got to go.
As soon as I finish my preparation, I'll be gone.
Residents in the southeastern part of New Providence, mainly in the Marshall Road area, were up at daybreak readying their homes for Hurricane Matthew. Those who reside closer to the seaside said they weren't going to leave anything to chance and that their window for moving further inland was closing quickly.
Well, I'm just making sure that my sister's house is secure before we move into the Grove. Making sure that everyone is safe and to make sure that everyone is safe.
A resident who lives about a mile away from the backside of Marshall Road was canvassing the area. One of his stops was at the southern coastline, where his concerns increased more when he saw the high rising tide and the broken seawall damaged in previous weather. That seawall is about 3 to 4 feet high.
I'm trying to take heed because I remember what happened in Long Island and the last hurricanes, the storm surge. I don't want to take any chances. I want to make sure me and my family is safe.
On the northern side of the road, another resident had planned to ride out the storm at home, but changed his mind when his grandson packed up their valuables and told him and his wife that it was time to go.
I had a little struggle to move, but after I look in his room and I see him packing up, I said, well, you're going into a hotel. Well, I know where he is going, but he convinced me, and listening to the newscasts, ZNS and other news media, I convinced that you cannot just be by yourself. You know, I'm 74 years old, and I need to move with them.
The further we went through the community, we noticed more residents securing their homes and evacuating the area. There were some who chose to stay. For those who packed up and were headed out, wanted to do so by noon. Kelsey Johnson, ZNS Network News.
Well, several residents in the South Beach area also seeking shelter ahead of the storm. Arla Don Davis caught up with the area representative to find out about the evacuation process.
Close to a dozen disabled persons and the elderly called into the South Beach constituency office today seeking information on how they can evacuate their homes from low-lying area to higher ground. Area Member of Parliament Fiona Hamilton says her team has been working around the clock to ensure that residents are safe.
Last night at the back of a truck with a loudspeaker, all to try to sensitize the residents of South Beach to see if they can because South Beach is a low-lying area and is anticipated that the storm is coming from the south and we will have a surge, and it will be during the time of high tide. So I'm trying to encourage the persons, if they have not already been prepared, to prepare themselves. And those who need help, they can actually go to the sports center. They can call me.
But for those persons who want to ride out the powerful storm, Hamilton says they must take precautions and have a backup plan.
Say also is that if you're going to stay in your homes, to please, for God's sake, be safe and have an alternate strategy in case of overwhelming flood to get out so that you don't be injured, harm, or God forbid something else happen.
Even prior to the threat of Hurricane Matthew, residents in South Beach shared similar concerns to their neighbors in Pinewood Gardens.
Concerns are flooding. Well, if you know, we had all of the drains and stuff cleaned, and see what is happening now, and that is just with small rain. In other countries we are seeing where flooding was a major problem. So we are trying as much as possible to see if we can get persons to a higher, safer place.
The area member of Parliament pleaded with all residents to evacuate their homes if they believe it can't withstand the impact. LaDon Davis, ZNS Network News.